Amy, good morning. Happy Tuesday,
Morning.
right? It's amazing. It's already the second day of the week.
I know it feels like all the days run together these days, right?
That's exactly right. I am with Amy Cook, who is Dr. Amy Cook, who is the Chief Marketing Officer for Simplus. We were just talking about the effort and work that goes into that title, and blessings to you for busting your tail to get there. So I super excited to have this conversation because, we also talked about the fact that you're sitting in California, the uniqueness that, kind of that state brings because of its size and complexity, but also, you're the voice of a company and how different that may be in 2021 than it's ever been. So I guess I'd start with the question, lessons learned from 2020, right? And how and what you're bringing into 2021 as you move forward.
Yeah. Well, thank you, first of all, John, for this conversation. I've been really looking forward to it and appreciate the opportunity. Lessons for 2021, there are so many, right? Where do we really start? We've gone from, really, I think fatigue really best describes our business community. We've been working harder than we ever have before. We're having to adapt to new modes of communication, and the barrier between public and private is really gone right now. And so everyone is tired. We've all heard so much bad news that now we entertain ourselves with memes about how bad 2020 was, right? And so I think that,
Yes.
Really, all of those things are bad things that happened in 2020, right? And if we take a look at marketing, I think acknowledging that and being authentic has never been more important. It's never been more important to say, we recognize you're having a hard time. I remember, if I can just, talk about a fail that I had this last year in June, I had inadvertently sent a message to a large group of people. It was a blast that said, "Hey, I hope you're having a good week." And I had sent some to some people in Minnesota who were having the worst week of their lives. And I got a response saying, "I hope this was an email blast and not a personal greeting. We are not having a good day." And so, for me, that was a really important lesson to be, you can't just send email blasts anymore. You have to recognize who you're sending to, what they may be experiencing in their world, and really understand how important personalization is. And so that for me was a really good lesson. Another good lesson for me was the importance of authenticity. How it's really important to acknowledge what's going on in the world. And you can see a lot of companies, Salesforce is one of our partners. We're a platinum Salesforce partner and a subsidiary of Infosys now. And so being able to be contextually aware of what's going on in our world and also being very professional in the way we approach things and inclusive has also never been more important. So that's kind of a long answer, but there were many, many lessons learned in 2020.
No, every one of those points were so valid. As you look at 2021 Q1, right, as we're kind of already midway through January, how is the messaging going out about, from the company around where we currently are in the ecosystem of our world, I guess, and then how are you carrying that through the year?
It's a great question. So as we are pivoting into 2021, we're approaching it with cautious optimism. So that's kind of the messaging that we're relaying to our business community, that yes, there are problems, and yes, we want to be aware of them, and we want to be very, very tied into how we can help our community. So when it comes to our overall messaging, because we're consultants and that is our entire job, is to help other businesses, that needs to be forefront in our messaging, is how can we help? How can we serve? What can we do to make your lives easier? And that's the overarching message that we're hoping to achieve.
The hope for 2021, right? As you're, again, broad reaching company, but specifically as you prepare and have set goals. I mean, and maybe our goals have changed so much. Goals that we had in 2019 going into 2020 all got kind of thrown out the window, right? In March. How did you guys set goals, and how are you kind of managing those, maybe in a little more bite-sized chunk way?
Well, I think you have to pay attention to a few different factors. Number one, location. Number two, channel. Number three, like service line. And number four, I already said location, but the geography is also very important. And then also the market segment. So when you combine all those things together, you're going to have some areas that are going to shift more than others, right? So for us, because we do a lot in enterprise, we didn't have some of those really large challenges that maybe some companies did in the SMB group, or, you know, obviously the travel and tourism industry has been very challenged this year. So being able to like adapt to each one of those factors is really important as we, you know, talk about our KPIs, and being able to try to keep your main goal the same, and then use your levers, analyze all of your different, you know, the facets of your marketing program, and see where you can compensate. So that's really what we've been trying to do as we've been pivoting and have been agile, is take a look at which channels are performing well, invest more there, and then invest more in those other factors as well.
We got about 60 seconds left, because it seems like our social networks are getting hammered this week, right? Mm-hmm. From so many different angles. How do you use those today? And I know this is probably a much bigger question, but how are you guys navigating that or you specifically as the leader, and still using those as a way to get to who you need to get to?
Mm-hmm. That's a great question. And I think that what is not said is as important as what is said. I think it's very important for us to be inclusive, conscientious, place the priorities of the society and our nation above our own business principles, and just be very aware. So, you know, if we need to not post for a couple of days to let other to let other messages be heard, that's what we're trying to do. And also, you know, as we're being sincere and authentic, understand where we can contribute and try to support those messages that we feel very strongly about.
Dr. Amy Cook, thank you so very much. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. I look forward to us hopefully connecting sometime soon.
Likewise, thank you so much. Appreciate the opportunity.
All right.